All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, aka Marf. Ilea actually made a great little short for us to kind of summarize what happened today. Prigozhin is supposedly perished via a plane crash. I'm going to tell you what I think about this. Dex is going to tell you what he thinks about this. I think this is absolutely a circus. We're going to go over all of it today on Marfoogle News. So, first of all, this is, again, being said that Prigozhin, we found out about noon that a Telegram channel was saying this, and now, again, they are saying that it even might be a body double. So we'll go over that here in just a second. Remember, all of the articles, every single article, tweet, video, picture, document is linked over on our website. So remember, you can go there, find today's thumbnail. Developing now, he's gone. MFN alert, and then you will see that we have every single article, tweet, video, picture, document there at your fingertips. Let's bring in my co-internet brother, Dex James. What is going on, and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So at first, it said that the Russian authorities have confirmed that a private jet with Wagner Group founder Yevgeny Prigozhin listed as a passenger crashed between Moscow and St. Petersburg on Wednesday. Again, it sounded again like he was just straight up in Russia and perished on this plane. It said that the Russian Emergencies Ministries confirmed that the jet plunged to the ground in the Tver region and that all 3 crew and 7 passengers on board were taken out. They might have changed that to 8. I've seen both put out all over the place. And it says that the ministry said that the jet, an Embraer 135BJ Legacy 600, was traveling from Moscow to St. Petersburg at the time of the incident. Rosaviatsia, a Russian federal air transport agency, said that Prigozhin was on board along with several high-ranking Wagner commanders. Now, if you have followed this and if you are questioning the whole mutiny thing and what was actually up with that, you would say, well, okay, then if he did that as a favor for Vlad instead of actually going against him, and because it just nothing sat right with the mutiny. The mutiny, he could have been taken out. They came in with Lukashenko, and Lukashenko from Belarus said, "Oh, I've known him for 20 years. I'll take responsibility. Have him come over to my house for a while, and let's just chill out." And the whole thing got kind of shoved under the rug, and nobody knows what it is. They thought it may be try to get people to come out and be a traitor against Vlad or something else. There's all these different reasons why it may have happened, but it was most definitely a circus. However many men he had gathered, there was no way that he was going to take over Russia and that all of Russia's military were going to drop their weapons and all of a sudden Russia was going to be taken over. But that's what the media told us for at least 3 hours. They said, Russia's about to have a huge coup. Well, it ended up being some sort of circus. And of course, Wagner, if you look at that like that, then you're going, well, then was Vlad even mad at Wagner? Was he even really trying to take him out? And now it's being said that Vlad has, from our side, the Western nations have said that they think he took out Wagner. This doesn't make sense. I don't know what kind of Fantastic Freddy this is, but it's not good. So at first they say he crashes. And again, the things have changed rapidly on this. So it could be changed if you're watching this tomorrow or the next day. But it said that Russian officials claim Wagner warlord Yevgeny Prigozhin was on the plane which crashed near Moscow amid growing mystery over his fate. Well, passenger list for doomed jet is published and claims mercenary groups number 2 was also on board. So they're also saying that, again, the number 2 gentleman was there. And then this third piece, this is essentially talking about JB. This actually said that JB believes that Vlad did it. So again, you can go deeper into all of these articles here over on marfooglenews.com. But the main point is, and now they're saying that it may have been a body double that was on board crash jet. Now, right when this happened, people were already on Twitter saying, oh, watch, he's going to show up in Africa doing a video of some sort, and he's just going to pop up out of nowhere. My questions are, is he actually perished? 2, what is the actual motivation for this? Who did it? And what is the end game for this if it wasn't, if he didn't perish? So, Dex, this whole thing is a complete circus. It is one of the biggest things out there because of how big of a character they've made him in this play. This could be the reason that somebody attacks somebody else. This could be the reason why everything calms down. Essentially, they're saying, I already saw a quote by an expert on CNN essentially saying that because they've taken out Wagner, that means that his whole agency has now crumbled and it will be less of a threat to European nations like Poland. Of course, Poland's been heavily ramping up their border. They've been sending thousands of troops. They've been moving tanks. Of course, the leader just said yesterday that they do believe that they're going to use tactical nukes. Again, Yevgeny was in Belarus. They say was a friend of Lukashenko. Is Lukashenko now going to say, oh, this guy was taken out and he was taken out by the West, or he was taken out by Poland, or he was done this, and that would be the attack or the Fantastic Freddy that starts this whole thing off. And this would be the reason, which we just talked about this yesterday. What would be a big event that would actually give Lukashenko the reason to do this? Given if there's actually still a lot of Wagner still in Belarus, which they said that they were. Dex, this is soap opera, but this very well could be used to spiral us into WW3.
Yeah, it certainly could. So, there's a lot of ways to look at this. One of them being that this entire coup was not really that. It was more of a staged event to draw out not infiltrators, but those that are not loyal to Putin. That was one angle. Well, if that's the case, then you have to say that Prigozhin was in on it. And then to basically put the cherry on top or the bow on the finished product is he's got to be taken out. So did they really take him out, or is he now in exile and he's off to do something else, but he's going to be retired and in hiding at some fancy place? That's a great question. And then the flip side to that, I would add, is they could turn around and come out and say that this event that took his plane down was done by somebody in a T style, which is what they like to call the people from UKR that send drones over or do any of those drone attacks. Not that this was hit by a drone, but it could have been sabotaged in some form. That could be turned around and pointed, and the finger could be pointed at UKR. So they can get a double hit here. They can actually, put him in exile, finish off the narrative, and blame UKR for it. Or it could be that he really was doing a coup, and this was Putin's way of cleaning up the mess. Either way you look at it.
Just wanted to point out there's multiple angles, and yet another thing, another reason why I'm like, are you kidding me? There is actual angles of the plane crash. There's events that happen here in the U.S. and they can't get cameras on. We don't get footage of like major events that happen until months later. They had footage of the thing actually coming down. Somehow somebody had a cell phone and they were like, "Oh, there's the plane coming down." I'm sorry. This is just like too convenient, right? But Ilea put together this really great short. Again, Ilea is one of our great mods and great creator. But there is the plane supposedly coming down and then it crashing, right? So this is just like, this is too convenient. And then Prigozhin, if he really was taken out, why would Russia take it out? Is it because of his coup? Well, the coup was really silly. I mean, like anybody who really looks at that and watched it live that day, they said, oh, he's coming and he's getting closer. He's within 2 hours. He's within 1 hour. And they showed that they moved the bridge off to the side. They didn't destroy it. They just moved it off to the side for boats to go through so he couldn't come over. With what? Was he going to raid Moscow with all of his tanks and jets and all sorts of other stuff? Like none of it made sense. He didn't have enough men to take over the thing. And then they said, oh, well, he was just trying to get Sergei Shoigu or whatever else. They're all friends. Like, this is BS. And then Lukashenko comes in to save the day. It's almost like a bunch of like older dudes were sitting around and being like, oh, let's do this and do that. Like they're trying to be directors of a TV show, but they've never directed a TV show in their life, or some sort of amateur college student trying to put together a play. Like, oh yeah, and then we could have him come in, and then we could have like a helicopter come in, and then somebody could RPG it. It will look really cool. That's what it felt like to me because it was just so silly. They weren't going to take over Russia, but that's what media told us for that day. That day, they were literally saying, he's in a bunker and they're about to take over Russia. We are being bombarded by BS. And it's really hard to believe that this is even true. But if it is, what is the motivation for it? And who has the motivation? Which side? And I'll tell you this, within days, unless this is found to be false, because the reaction to it is immediately, this is BS. Or the reaction to this is like, oh, this person and that person took it out. Who cares? At this point, which side is going to use this to spiral this thing out of control? Dex, the fact that CNN and all these agencies are already saying that, oh, if Wagner's gone, then his whole group will be dismantled. This already makes me think that this is to calm everything down. And since something else just popped up out of nowhere, like a couple days ago, and now we're probably going to have to wear coverings and all sorts of other things, it's just funny timing. Like, what if this really did reverse?
The timing is everything. You've got the big debates that are starting tonight. You got the big Tucker event with T-Man tonight. You've got all the other stuff happening on our own political spectrum that could easily be get people distracted from with something like this. So that's interesting. And then you also have the timing of this as it just relates to, what's going on in Russia with, potential troubles in their inner circles that have been reported, troubles with the financial aspects of the ruble that have been, causing Putin a lot of stress with the oligarchs, which obviously they care the most because they're the richest of the ones that matter in the country there that are probably driving him. So you've got all of that timing. It's all coming together at the same time. And by the way, let's not forget there's a lot of rumors, and I'm just going to call them that. They're rumors that people are saying that there was a something did shoot it down in the sky in Russia. In other words, like a Russian jet or something. Now, there's nothing you don't see any of that on video. All these videos that we have, we don't actually see that. We can look for it. We can continue to try to find something, any evidence on that. But those are a lot of the rumors that are going around, at least from the military sides on Russia's side, as far as people talking and chatting about it.
Oh, look, there's a plane crash. Oh, wait. No, I got to wait until the Russian plane leaves. Okay, now videotape. Oh, everybody pull your cell phones out. Oh, no. You got the Russian plane in the frame. Delete that. Yeah, okay, sure. And they just happen to have cell phone footage from the middle of a field because, people just hang out in the middle of a field by towers and videotape planes crashing because people are really paying attention. You know that in Russia, too, they're sitting watching their plane, too, or their phones, too, right? Dex, go ahead.
Now, hypothetically, to add to that, like, why would somebody point their camera to the sky at the right time? Would lend me to believe that something happened. It wasn't, a plane going overhead, you sort of ignore. Like you're out working in your yard, you're cutting grass, you're trimming bushes, you're working in the garden. Planes fly over all the time. You don't think twice about it. You would pull your phone out and start filming if you heard something happen. So something could have happened in the sky that made enough noise that caused those people to point their cameras up. Which then leads me to believe what happened in the sky. The plane obviously didn't coast, like it didn't lose power and slowly descend to the ground like an aerodynamic, ship would do. It fell out of the sky, like it literally came straight down almost. At some points, you can sort of look what looks like a smoke trail coming out of it. Maybe there was some thrusts on part of an engine. They were trying to do something, but that thing came straight down. So something changed, and this plane is in the sky, and all of a sudden, it's going straight down to the ground.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's like it hit a brick wall. Like it hit an imaginary brick wall right in the middle of the street. So, okay. So a big explosion, you look up and you start videotaping. I don't know what to believe at this point, but one thing I do know is I have a firm belief they're trying to get us deep into a hot war with multiple countries. They have already set the alliances, us versus them, and we already have been infiltrated heavily in the U.S. We're divided more than ever before. We have all sorts of events going on here, and now this. At the same time, in the last week, which I think it came out a little bit too early because of Mr. AJ, all of this other stuff is just magically appearing out of nowhere. So, what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below, and then make sure to tune in tonight to Marfoogle TV, our sister channel. We're going to be covering all of this. We'll be updating you on this, so we'll give you everything up-to-date news on this tonight. Remember to go over to our website, marfooglenews.com. You can actually support us by going over, and you can either go and get yourself one of the best solar generators out there, or, of course, you can even get food over there at marfooglenews.com/prep. But the solar generator, the Flex 1500, is one of the best units out there. Again, this is something that will get you through any disaster where you lose power. This is a solar generator that can be expanded up to 96 batteries, and it can also, of course, be modded and altered. You can actually add a UPS mod now, which are now available to make it a UPS. You can triple the inputs of it. You can do 12 panels instead of 4 with a mod. So this thing is really cool. It works like Lego. It's silent, and you don't have to store fuel or gasoline to run it. You just need some solar panels, and then boom, you have unlimited power. Go to marfooglenews.com/energy and use the code Marfoogle. The tactical is definitely really badass. If you want the most tactical version, that would be the one to get. Built-in heaters, reinforced steel frame, 1,500-pound latches, so this thing will stay together after it falls off a truck. And this is the one that was designed by the Air Force Research Laboratory and Energy, and now just won an SBIR Army contract. So this is going to be shipping out with the Army. So if you want the best, this is pretty dang close to it. So go to marfooglenews.com/energy and use the code Marfoogle. You'll get a savings, and you'll help support our independent news. We are all on our own here. So thank you guys for doing so. Dex, thank you for your service today. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Much love. Good job, brother.
Thank you, Ilea, for putting that together for us. Again, make sure to go check her out at Ilea_Marie over on Twitter. And then all of the rest of the links are over on marfooglenews.com/friends. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.